Hello everyone, my name is Rodrigo and this is for Phonetics 4. I will be talking about phonetics. The main start is going to be pronunciation. And I will be asking some questions and doing some I will be doing some tasks that I was asked to do. The first one, it is related to consonant consonant sounds in English. Um, we need to know that there are two kinds of consonant sounds. The first classification of the basic classification of consonant sound. We know that we can find voiced and voiceless or unvoiced consonant sounds. And the way to differentiate them, it's not too difficult. Um, the difference is in the way that sounds are emitted, of course. When we have a voiced consonant sound, it means that our vocal cords generate a vibration in our throat, and that's not difficult to check if a sound has a vibration. You just have to put the tip of one of your fingers and press here in your throat and pronounce one sound. If you feel that if you feel a movement here, a vibration here, it means that the sound is voiced. And on the other hand, if we don't feel anything like here, it means that the sound is simply voiceless or unvoiced. It means that the sounds don't need the vocal cord, that they don't need the vibration of the vocal cord to be emitted. Um, then another way to determine if a sound is voiced or unvoiced, you can use uh, your finger and try to cover your ear. If you pronounce that sound a sound, and if you hear that sound uh, louder than you will pronounce without the finger, it means that that sound is voiced. And if you don't feel that the sound, it just has the same tone and it doesn't go up the sound, it means that um it means that the sound is voiceless. So there are two ways uh, to check if you want to check the sound that you are emitting, it is voice or voiceless. You can use your finger to put, and you can put them on your throat or in your ear um to check what kind of sound it is. Another classification is manner of articulation. Consonants can be classified according to um, how these sounds are emitted. For example, we've got the stop sound, fricative sound, affricate, nasal, liquid, and glide. Um, and I'm going to give you a definition of these sounds. So as I said, this classification refers to how the sounds are made. Uh, in the first um, in the first place, we've got stop. It means that the it means that the air, when we the stream of air can find difficult when we emit that air can find difficult different obstacles in the in the vocal system. So in the first case, in this stop sound, when we pronounce that, when the air streams goes out, the obstacle um, are the lips. The obstacle are the lips, because the lips are together, and the air can't go easily. So when the lips are separated, the air just is liberated. It's released. Sorry, the air is released, and in that case, when we do that, we generate a explosion. That's why um, it is called also plosive sound or stop. Stop. It means that the air goes through the mouth, and it can't go out easily because the lips are together. and now we are closing our mouth. Then we separate the mouth and the sound goes quickly, and that generates an explosion. That's why it is called stop sound. Then we've got fricative sound. Fricative sound, it means that we generate an obstacle with the parts of our vocal system, and with that with those obstacles we generate a friction between two parts. We join two different parts of the vocal system and we generate a friction. The air, um, the stream of air, just try to try to be released in any other through any other place. It's like when you have a river and you just a river or a lake, and you just watch the water flows smoothly. And if you put a rock in the middle of the lake or in the middle of that float, the water be will continue to flow, but it would go to other places as the path is liberated. So this happens with the fricative sound. We generate a friction with two parts of the mouth, and the stream of air try to be released through any place possible. And then we've got affricate sound. This is the union of two different ways of pronouncing. We've got the plosive sound, we've got the plosive of stop sound, and then we've got the fricative sound. So the union tried to generate a slightly movement in our mouth in order to pronounce the sound. So as I say, this is the union of two different sounds. Then we've got the nasal sound. We can say in this case that our mouth or lips or tongue block the pass of the stream of air. Just we find an obstacle again, and so the stream of air goes through the nose. So in this case, we can find that the nose are a great participant in this. And when we pronounce these sounds, when we emit these sounds, so as our tongue or lips block the stream of air, the stream of air just um, is released through the nose. If we block our nose, it would be impossible. It would be impossible to pronounce these nasal sounds because we need our nose. Indeed, liquid, um, liquid voice sounds. In this case, we can see that, as I said before, they are kind of similar with the fricative. The liquid sound, the stream of air um, goes next to goes through the side, both sides um, of the of the tongue. So we've got our tongue like this. Imagine that this is my tongue, and the stream of air goes like in this place, like this. So these are those. That's how the liquid sounds are emitted. And then we've got the glide, another classification of manner. It's glide voiced. The sounds just move in the same way, in the same ways of vocals, um, but with a little different, with a different little difference. They are very similar to to two very usual vocal vocal sounds that we've got in English. Um, another classification is the place of articulation. In place of articulation, we can find bilabial sound. It means that we need both lips to both our both lips are the participant in this when we pronounce these sounds. Labial tensor sound, it means that we use the lower part of the lower parts of our lips and and um, and our teeth. We use our teeth and our and the upper teeth and the lower lips. Uh, that's a labial dental. It's a mix between two different parts of the system. Dental, it means that the tip of tongue is the tip of our tongue is between our two between the upper and lower teeth. So it's in the tip of tongue is in the middle. Then we've got alveolar sounds. Alveolar sounds are those sounds that the tip of our tongue. It means that again, this is my tongue. The tip of our tongue touches, and you have your teeth here. The tip of your tongue touch the bridges, the yeah, the bridges that are um, behind your behind your upper teeth. So the tip touch the British uh the touches the alveolar ridge. Sorry, that was touches the alveolar ridge. Uh, then we've got palatal. Then we've got palatal sounds. Um, Palatal sounds. We can say in palatal sound we can say that the blade of our tongue, the blade of our tongue, um, almost touches the hot palate of the tongue. It is like this. The blade of our tongue almost touches the hot palate of, of our mouth. Um, then we've got the velar sound. The velar sounds are those that the back of our tongue, the back part of our tongue touches the soft palate. Another thing to say about the palate is we can find the hard palate and the soft. The hard palate is just in the roof of our mouth, and it just we can say that it's rough. That is rough, and then we've got the soft palate that is behind. Yeah, it's next to that. It follows that hard palate, and we can feel it that is a soft palate. It's smooth. Then we've got glottal. In the glottal sound, we generate a friction in the glottis. Um, that's that that's the glottis. I want to talk about the glottis. The glottis is the space that we can find the spaces that we can find between the vocal cords. So that's all about consonant sound. We'll be talking about now. Okay. Now I will be talking about allophones of allophones. We know that these sounds, no, those consonants, um, when they are in touch with other consonants, or when they are included in extended sentences, um, we can find that they sometimes change their characteristics, um, and that's an allophone. It's that you have a phoneme, and those phoneme can change its characteristic according to the contact that have with other without the sounds. Uh, we got in the first case the plosive sound. We can find, for example, in the first case, it says when the plosive sound, when the bilabial plosive sound comes at the beginning of a word of the or the beginning of a stressed syllable, it is aspirated. Okay, it means that we need an extra amount of air